Gather round for a tale of intrigue and potential market chaos. Today, we delve into the concerns surrounding the SEC's proposed rule on security-based swaps and the potential harm it could inflict upon market liquidity.
The SEC's proposed Rule 10b-1 would require public dissemination of security-based swap positions.
Now, I know what you're thinking. What on earth is a security-based swap position? Well, my dear viewer, let me break it down for you in the simplest terms possible. Imagine you're playing a game of Monopoly, and you decide to trade your park place for your friend's boardwalk. That's a swap. Now imagine if everyone in the world knew about that swap. That's a security-based swap position, so brace yourselves, for this is a story that will make your head spin faster than a merry-go-round on steroids. Security-based swaps are financial instruments that allow investors to hedge their risks or speculate on the price movements of underlying assets. They are those fancy trading cards you used to collect as a kid, except instead of trading Pikachu for Charizard, you're trading financial instruments. Think of it like a game of financial roulette, where you can bet on whether the price of a particular asset will go up or down. Exciting stuff, I know. Well, the SEC, in all its wisdom, has proposed a rule known as 10b-1 that would require public dissemination of security-based swap positions.
In November of last year, I sent a letter to the SEC with several of my Republican and Democrat colleagues on this committee regarding this proposal.
In other words, they want to expose these positions to the world, like a magician revealing their secrets. Basically, they want everyone to know who's holding what in the financial markets. It's like having a big sign on your forehead that says, "Hey, look at me, I've got a bunch of these fancy swaps." But here's the catch. Market participants are concerned that this could seriously harm market liquidity. And by liquidity, I mean the ease with which these financial instruments can be bought and sold without causing drastic price fluctuations. Market liquidity is like the flow of water in a river. You want it to be nice and steady, not all dried up like a desert. When liquidity dries up, it becomes harder for people to buy and sell these security-based swaps, and that's not good for anyone. Imagine a bustling marketplace filled with eager buyers and sellers, all haggling over the price of their wares. Now imagine if someone came along and shouted out the exact details of every transaction happening in that marketplace. Chaos would ensue, my friends. Buyers would hesitate, sellers would panic, and the whole market would grind to a screeching halt. It would be like trying to navigate a crowded street during rush hour while wearing a blindfold and roller skates. Not a pretty sight, I assure you.
Dr. Zhou, has your division considered a phased approach to implementation, first analyzing the confidential data before mass disseminating the information out to the market?
But fear not, for there is hope on the horizon. Congressman Lucas, in all his wisdom, has raised the question of whether the SEC has considered a phased approach to implementation. You see, a phased approach would involve analyzing the confidential data before mass disseminating it to the market. It's like taking baby steps instead of diving headfirst into a pool of uncertainty. Now let's take a moment to appreciate the irony here. The SEC, whose primary mission is to protect investors and maintain fair and efficient markets, is proposing a rule that could potentially harm market liquidity. It's like a superhero turning into a supervillain right before our eyes. But hey, who needs liquidity anyway? It's not like it's an essential ingredient for a healthy and functioning market. Oh wait, it is? Well, that's awkward. One could argue that the SEC should prioritize the interests of market participants and ensure that any rule they propose doesn't have unintended consequences. Some would say the SEC is simply following the mandate set forth by Congress. It's like a game of legal ping-pong, where the SEC is just bouncing the ball back and forth, trying to keep up with the ever-changing rules. Sometimes even the best intentions can lead to unintended consequences. It's like trying to fix a leaky faucet and accidentally flooding your entire house. So, let's hope that the SEC takes a step back and listens to the concerns of market participants. After all, a healthy market is like a well-oiled machine, and we wouldn't want it to seize up now, would we? The concerns about potential harm to market liquidity from the SEC's proposed rule on security-based swaps are real and should not be taken lightly. So let's keep our fingers crossed and hope that the SEC finds a way to strike a balance between transparency and market stability. Stay curious and never stop questioning the powers that be. And with that, my young Padawan, we've reached the end of our sarcastic journey. Remember, stay safe, stay skeptical, and always keep your financial hats on. Look out for the next video from MoneyMirth. Don't forget to like, drop us a comment, and most importantly, my friend, subscribe. We appreciate you, and from all of us from MoneyMirth, take care.